Rome wasn't just an empire. It was a machine of innovation, a symphony of organization, and a quiet revolution of ideas that swept through the Mediterranean like a tide. Today, we think of Rome as a monument to battles, emperors, and Julius Caesar's infamous defeat of Pompey. But behind the scenes, something much more incredible was unfolding. A quiet revolution of ideas, a blueprint for civilization. Today, we're going back to a time before technology, when the most advanced devices were made by hand. We're talking about the Roman Empire, a name synonymous with power, conquest, and some pretty impressive engineering. Because if there's one thing that might surprise you more than their military might, it's their inventiveness. Welcome to my channel. The Romans, for all their glory, often get painted as a bit dim when it comes to invention. But trust me, that's a reputation that's way off base. You see, they weren't just conquerors, they were inventors. Master builders, engineers of the unseen. Thinkers who created tools and systems so ahead of their time, we still haven't caught up. Let's start with the basics. What made Rome tick? It wasn't just legions and law, it was also logistics. The Romans understood that to rule, you need to organize. Enter roads. Lots and lots of roads. I mean proper roads, not just dirt tracks. These guys laid down stone highways that were so efficient, some are still part of our modern roads. But they didn't just pave the way literally. They developed milestones to tell travelers exactly where they were and how far they had to go. Like having your own personal GPS, except with stones instead of a screen. But their organization didn't end at the roads. They kept meticulous records, not on computers, mind you, but on stone tablets. These records were detailed, organized, and backed up by an army, which, let's face it, is the best backup system around. Speaking of armies, let's talk about their strategy. Rome wasn't all about brute force, though they certainly had that in spades. They also studied their enemies, adapting their tactics and training. They knew that winning a battle wasn't just about strength, but also about smarts and preparation. But their strategic thinking wasn't confined to the battlefield. They applied it to everything from farming to trade. The Romans experimented with new crops, optimized trade routes, and even set up their own postal service. That's right, a Roman senator could get a letter from Egypt faster than you could say Cleopatra. Now, let's shift our focus from organization to creation. The Romans weren't just good at following rules, they were also excellent at making things. Take their buildings, for example. They designed structures that were not only beautiful, but also practical and enduring. They invented arches, vaults, and domes that are still studied by architects today. And they didn't just build for aesthetics. They thought about function too. Consider their aqueducts. These marvels of engineering brought fresh water into cities, but they also provided a steady supply for farms and public baths. It wasn't just about quenching thirst, it was about quality of life. But their creations weren't limited to stone and mortar. They developed tools, machines, and even weapons that were ahead of their time. Take their military equipment. It wasn't just swords and shields. It was also innovative designs like the ballista, kind of crossbow that could shoot arrows over long distances. Then, there were their everyday tools, like the Roman plow, which helped farmers work their fields more efficiently. They even developed simple machines like pulleys and levers, which made tasks easier and safer. Next, let's talk about their influence, because the Romans weren't just innovative for their time. They were also remarkably inclusive. They shared ideas and inventions not just within the empire, but with the world. They didn't hoard their knowledge, they spread it. They interacted with other cultures, adopted their ideas, and incorporated them into their own. This fusion of ideas led to some truly remarkable creations. Take their concrete, for example. It wasn't just a building material, it was a revolution. Roman concrete was stronger, more durable, and more versatile than anything that came before it. Used it for roads, aqueducts, and buildings, and it stood the test of time. It's still standing in places like the Pantheon, which is over 2,000 years old. But their influence wasn't just about what they created, it was also about how they shared it. They didn't keep their inventions secret, they documented them. They wrote books, created manuals, and taught others how to build and create. In a way, they democratized knowledge, making it accessible to anyone who wanted to learn. In a nutshell, Rome's ingenuity wasn't just about conquering new lands or defeating enemies. It was about finding smarter ways to do things, whether it was organizing an empire, building a road, or mixing cement. They sought efficiency, effectiveness, and elegance. Their solutions weren't always perfect, but they were often remarkably innovative. So the next time you think of Rome, don't just picture legions and landscapes. Imagine a world where innovation and organization danced together, where the roads weren't just paths, they were data carriers, where aqueducts weren't just water channels, they were lifelines, and where buildings weren't just stones, they were testaments to human ingenuity. Rome's legacy isn't just about what it left behind, it's also about what it left to the future, a blueprint for civilization, a testament to human potential, and an inspiration for generations to come. Their spirit still echoes in our quest for efficiency, our love for order, and our drive to create. And in that sense, Rome didn't just conquer the ancient world, it conquered time. But you want to know something really crazy? They weren't done yet. Despite all this, many believe that the classical period of Roman history, the era usually associated with their greatest achievements, had not even begun. This was just a prologue, an appetizer. The main course was yet to be served. Stay tuned for more, because we're just getting started. The true story of Rome is a tapestry woven with threads of conquest and creation, organization and innovation, power and progress. And as we continue to uncover the layers of this ancient civilization, we find ourselves marveling not just at their might, but also at their mind. Their ability to solve problems, their drive to improve, and their knack for sharing ideas, all qualities that we associate with progress. Rome wasn't just a conqueror of lands, it was a conqueror of complexity. They took the chaos of the ancient world and wove it into an intricate tapestry of roads, aqueducts, laws, and learning. It's a legacy that goes beyond bricks and mortar. It's a legacy of problem solving, a tribute to human ingenuity, and a reminder that innovation knows no bounds. As we wrap up our journey through Rome's blueprint, we're left with more than just admiration. We're inspired. Inspired to see the world through the lens of organization and creation, to tackle complexity with a blueprint and a team, and to leave our own mark on the world, however small. The Romans didn't just build an empire, they built a framework for progress, and in doing so, they left us a blueprint for success.